Hello everyone, it's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astronumerologist. So excited because we're going to be looking at the Gemini new moon, and Gemini is such a beautiful, playful sign of communicating with each other, but also listening more closely and having more fun, feeling happy. It's a very youthful energy. There's usually a big smile around when you're under the Gemini influence, and it follows the Taurus, more deep, more grounded energy. And so there's always a balance in nature. You know, you experience one and you go into the other. So the Gemini new moon happens pretty early in Gemini this year on the 25th of May at 8:44 p.m. Universal Time. That's in London, in Greenwich, England. And of course that means 3:44 p.m. New York Eastern and 12:44 p.m. in Los Angeles Pacific Time. This is a new moon. It's at 4 degrees in Gemini. We're going to look at that number in a moment because it ties in to the wonderful juxtaposition of energies that we're going to experience. So we're having a bit of a breather now after some intense inner shifts over the first few months of 2017. And this breather will last a couple months here before the big eclipses in August. And as we move into this new moons are always about restarting, new beginnings. We're in a 10 universal year as it is, which is a new beginnings cycle. A new 9-year cycle was started in January universally. There's a great opportunity here to communicate through leadership, through what the actual universal year is all about, and to activate that number 1 and 0 for 2017, which stands for love and light. And Gemini is it's a lighter sign. It is filled with light and enlightenment. And you can reach enlightenment very quickly at any time of the day when you breathe deeply and connect to the source of light, the source of love, the source of joy. Right? So this is a time when this new moon comes around and we really infuse ourselves with the Gemini energy that we can be open to learning and be open in general to experience life with more joy and smiles and, you know, just connecting in a childlike, youthful way, the way of creativity and the tuning into your inner child way, the wonderment and the interest in new possibilities, and also the interest in looking at the mystical connections in the universe. This is all covered by Gemini, which is such a curious sign. It's an air sign, so it travels fast and it connects things fast. It connects the dots, it connects to others, and it is the sign of communication ruled by Mercury, the messenger. So now Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is in Taurus during this new moon, and Taurus is obviously a very steady, grounded, patient sign. And the sun and moon are at 4 degrees in Gemini, and 4 is also a very stable, practical, and grounded number. So what I love about this juxtaposition is it takes the wonder and excitement of the new moon, the Gemini influence, that playful energy, and it makes it real. It grounds it. It makes it practical. It allows you to incorporate it into your daily life in a lasting way, in a deep way. Now, 4 degrees in Gemini in astrology is also called a critical degree, and there are only very few of these critical degrees in the 360-degree circle that make up the actual zodiac, the horoscope wheel. And so 4 degrees Gemini is one of those places. So when anything happens at a critical degree, it carries more emphasis. It enhances the experience. It strengthens the experience. So this new moon in Gemini is going to have a bigger effect than other new moons would because it falls directly on this critical degree. And it is 4 degrees, as I said. Now the whole date for May 25th, 2017 adds up to 22. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So we have a very strong 4 energy. And 4, like I said, it is a very grounding, secure number. It rules the square. So it rules architecture, grounding things, building things, right? Going patiently step by step So it's a very Saturnian number. Saturn is also very patient and disciplined and honest, and 4 has the same qualities. So we have this number 4, like I said, and the number 22. The whole date adds up to 22. That's the number of the architect of peace. So we're bringing together the feelings of, architecture, grounding things, building things, and then what are we building? We're building peace. We're communicating peace between us. And so that brings a really beautiful opportunity for all of us to connect, like Gemini loves to connect, but in a peaceful way, in a grounded way, not in a flitting air way. Gemini is very fast and sometimes can dissipate energy, but this is a wonderful balance of energies that we have here with this new moon. Now, there are some transits that we need to look at. Venus is square Pluto during this new moon, and that will bring up a lot of intense feelings. Venus and Pluto are very sexual when they come together. So we have a combination here of feeling empowered through your sensuality, but also it governs, when these two planets get together, financials and money and empowerment through laser focusing into your abundance, building your financial empire, creating more prosperity in your life. Now, Pluto is all about power and getting down to the nitty-gritty of how you disempower or empower yourself. So it brings up control issues, and so these issues will come up in the realms of your love life, Venus, and Venus also rules, like I said, money. So if you have any issues in that area with this square, which is a tense aspect in astrology, you need to just watch how you emotionally respond or react, right, to life as it brings situations, experiences into your life, especially in those topics that I just mentioned. And you want to guard against being too impulsive because, this is a very intense independence versus security, Venus in Aries, Pluto in Capricorn, very sensual energy. So you want to breathe at this time. Now, there's an incredible, beautiful, very rare sacred geometric shape that is activated. I don't talk about it often because it just doesn't happen very often. And it's called the finger of God, or the yod in astrology. And this one is created between Mercury and Neptune at the base. So Mercury, the ruler of this new moon, is at the base with Neptune, and they're pointing to Jupiter at the apex. Now, this is just a stunning array of 3 planets. The ruler, of course, is in the picture here with this finger of God. It just makes it so beautiful and mystical, otherworldly, connecting us to other dimensions, opening your heart and mind to embrace other perspectives and other realities, and broadening your compassion. Your heart is really open with Neptune and Jupiter, connecting you to this finger of God, which is such a spiritual, sacred geometric visual in the heavens. So this is all about inclusiveness, and it stimulates your imagination to, include everything and everyone, which is very Neptunian and Jupiterian, with joy and with creativity. So the universe is inviting you with this finger of God, pointing at Jupiter, to awaken a greater, bigger Jupiterian part of you, to see and embrace and nurture your divine nature. So that is another beautiful transit that's happening during this new moon. Now there's one more. Mars in Gemini during this Gemini new moon lies opposite Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay, so this is important because, Mars is in the sign of the new moon, and it's opposite Saturn, which is playing a very big role around this time because of the grand fire trine that I mentioned very often in my newsletters and also my more recent videos here. Saturn and Uranus in the North Node are forming a very fortunate grand fire trine right now. So Mars is now coming around and activating Saturn, lying opposite Saturn. And this means fire and action are opposite each other. Patience and discipline is opposite fire and action. So the heat of Mars is wanting to move forward, but then Saturn comes in, and steady, impatient Saturn, and says, hang on, we're not going to move too fast. So the best way to address this opposing energy is to be very, very productive, to sit down and be creative and put your imagination into practice. It's like being a student. You need to be disciplined, you need to be patient. This is all about disciplined action, especially in areas of communication and sharing your message. Now, you're activating so much fortunate stuff now anyway because of this grand fire trine with Uranus in the North Node and Saturn. So this grand fire trine, like I said, will be triggered by this opposition with Mars. And Mars is a very fiery planet. So this is a great time to bring in that masculine energy of Mars and activate what you truly feel is your mission, what your responsibilities are. You know, Saturn rules our career. Saturn rules the 10th house. So this is an activation of your spiritual mission. And it's basically saying, get with it, you know, light a fire under you and move forward. We're in a time, like I said, right now where things are more calm. So it's easier to not be distracted by life's events as they might have appeared in the last few months. You can really focus on what you're here to do and what stimulates you on a core spiritual level. So manifest your ideas. This is a practical and very fun new moon. Like I said, be playful. And don't forget that my weekly free forecast, there's a link in this video, goes much more into detail about the themes for every week and the highlight transits for each week. So if you want to stay in touch with the rhythm of the universe as it unfolds, then definitely sign up for my free weekly videos as well. So have a wonderful Gemini new moon, and I will see you in June.